This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by MMAHQ.com, the world's best daily deal site. Defense Soap. Offense wins matches. Defense keeps you on the mat. BetDSI.com, where you can bet on MMA. Enter code MMA Nuts and get a 20% bonus. Hey fans, this is MMA Nuts, episode 108.
108.
Also known as the Dark episode. My name's Ingo Weigold.
I'm Matt Griffin. This is MMA Show by MMA fans for MMA fans, where we walk the line between serious and ridiculous.
Matt, why are we sitting in the dark?
Oh, we were in the 54th hour of no power in the Chicagoland area, and there's no outlook in sight as to when said power will return. Early estimates are maybe at the 100-hour mark.
And we're currently above 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And humidity at 95%.
Not to mention it's a solid 100 the next 3 to 4 days. I'm sure it'll all work out.
But, not to fear, we do have generators. So, and we're back with power. Whoa.
It's like magic.
It's crazy. It's still hot as fuck in here. But
It's only a solid 80, 81 in the basement, in the cave.
Does the iPhone have a temperature sensor?
It should,
It should
but
have like
no.
an app. Do you have an app for that?
It should.
No.
That's all I'm saying. So, all right.
So let's talk about news. Anything going on?
Well, it's kind of old by now, but Joe Rogan getting his black belt.
Ooh, golf clap. Nice work, Joe.
That was pretty nice. The Here Comes the Boom trailer. It looks pretty sweet with that guy.
Kevin James.
Thank you. Yeah, called him out. We were talking about it before. Couldn't remember. He pulls it up. Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet.
He's the MMA guy.
Yeah,
right?
he's like a school teacher trying to raise some money. Got to turn to MMA to make some quick cash. I see Bass rooting in there.
Okay.
Making
I think
it
that's
happen.
the first movie that like the UFC officially
Yes.
like really
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
They actually gave him license and said,
Yep.
go to
Go for
town.
it. Cool.
Because Kevin was always a big supporter of them. A little, you scratch my back, I'll suck your dick.
Hey, that's how it works.
That's how it works sometimes.
If we had internet, we could actually find out when the movie may come out. But
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Internet's overrated, Ingo.
But
I'm
soon-
off the grid.
Well, I like to be
Completely off the grid, except for the cell phone. That still keeps you in touch with the
My
world.
phone doesn't work in your place
Mine does.
because you have Verizon.
Have you,
right?
I got you on a
AT&T
jammer.
sucks.
You got to get off that Nazi network.
I can't. We have unlimited data plan, grandfather.
So do I.
For Verizon, grandfather.
But I think they're going to grandfather you out in a little bit
Yeah.
on
AT&T?
Verizon.
Oh,
So I've read. I haven't-
AT&T's not messing with me. Unlimited, bitch.
For now.
There are some months where I think I do like six gigabytes, something like that.
Do
Like
they
some
send-
ridiculous?
Do they send you letters or
No,
emails like,
but I
sir,
think-
you're using too much, we're going to shut you down?
Those months though, I think my phone sometimes stops working so well. Like Facebook won't work. or
That's
my
what it
emails,
is.
like,
You're
it's like,
blaming the
sorry.
app, and it's them throttling your
Maybe.
shit.
Could be.
It's all good. So that movie's coming out. What else? Do you see Here we go. Vitor Belfort getting that pin fucking pulled out of his hand? Oh, it was
No.
disgusting. They took a fucking pair of pliers, and he's just sitting there, and they fucking jerk
While
it.
he's awake.
Yeah, he's just like, just go to the doctor. It's like getting stitches removed. Oh, it was pretty gross.
I'll have to try to find that video.
Yeah. And then Ronda Rousey is going to be in the next body edition of ESPN.
Oh, and
Who else?
do you see the naked
No?
photos or almost naked photos of what's her face?
Cyborg?
Cyborg.
Oh, yeah. Does she look more womanly?
I think they smoothed out some lines. She's less chiseled. Could be because of the post-non-roidal situation, but
Like they cut her balls off?
I don't know.
Does that make
But
sense?
she looks a little more
know.
feminine, but I'm not saying that feminine. So it's not like, you know.
You still don't want to bang her?
No.
Yes, I just snorted too, so enjoy.
It's all good. So what else? Anything?
I think that's good for news. We'll get right into the party. And since we did have a storm, we have a blowout, so one computer is fucking shot, so hence the black screen of death over here, which is better than a blue screen. The blue screen means you have problems.
Or a pink screen?
Yes.
All right, so UFC 148, Silva Sonnen 2, July 7th. This is the latest we've actually done a preview show ever for.
Yeah, imagine
like a couple days before. Happening at the MGM in Las Vegas. This card should be exciting. Should be crazy.
Should be fisting all around.
Anal fisting?
I don't know about that. I was just going to say regular fisting.
Oh, okay.
But is that where you fist? I don't know.
Sometimes.
Hey, whatever it is. All right. We got, who's the first fight?
Chad.
Oh, I don't have this one, though. Oh. Good.
Chad Mendes versus Cote McKenzie.
Awesome.
I do not have their records, but this is your job normally.
I know. I only have 4 fights that I'm covering.
I thought we were doing 5. Should we talk about this?
You can talk about it. I'll tell you. I'll just go short. McKenzie guillotine. Go.
Hey, you stole my thunder. Okay, here's a guy who has won via guillotine like almost every fight. Even on the Ultimate Fighter, this guy's like, oh, everyone's watching. Oh, McKenzie has good guillotine. What do the wrestlers do? They try to go for the takedown. Oh, guillotine. It's like, seriously, this guy's amazing. But this is actually his first time fighting at what is he at? 145? Yes. So it's kind of weird. And Mendes just recently fought for the title, which is kind of, I feel like for Cody's MMA roster experience, he has a lot of fights, but not big time fights. It's kind of weird to see him fight for the title so quickly. But that being said, I agree with you. McKenzie via guillotine.
Quickest, shortest review ever.
Sorry. 8-Ball says.
I had nothing on that one.
8-Ball says, is McKenzie going to guillotine or not? Without a doubt.
Take that.
Oh.
Stick it up your pipe and blow it out your hole.
It.
All right. What's the next fight? I'm just kidding. We got Dong Hung.
Stun gun.
Kim. He's 15-1-1 with 1 no contest versus Damian Maia. He's 15-4. Kim, 40% of his wins by KO, 7% by submission. Maia, 13% by KO, 53% by submission. And the odds from BetDSI, Maia plus 107, Kim minus 137.
I'm schwitzing.
Just fucking drink more beer, bitch.
I'm trying.
You got red stripe. Don't worry about it. So here's the question. Well, I'll just say this. I think this is a tough weight cut for Maia, being his first time going down to 170, because when we interviewed him, he looked a solid 200, 205. And
didn't he say he walks around 200,
205? Yeah. He was the first guy that we've met in person that actually looked like the same size that I had in my mind. Not like these other guys I've joked about before, like Soteropoulos, where you see him, you're like, hey, little guy, 155.
Yeah.
But he always looks so huge on TV.
Whatever happened to him? He's like fell off the face of the planet.
Dennis Seaver, I think, wrecked him. And
the Structoid.
Then we didn't see much. Yeah. Yeah, what happened? We need him back.
We do.
So, no one has cracked the stun gun's nut since Condit with the flying knee. He's going to be hard to beat. And then this is one of those fights, too, where it's like you have a guy who's they both play to each other's strength. Like, Maia hopefully we'll go back to his jiu-jitsu game because he's been playing the stand-up a lot of late. The stun gun, he's really good with the top control, so I would like to, let's pit 1 versus 1, right?
Yes.
You play off your back, I'll play off top, let's see who's better. So I take Kim stun gun with the decision because I think this weight cut's going to be a little too much for Maia. So I see he may do well that first round, but come second round, he's going to be gassed out, and then stun gun's just going to work him for round 2 and round 3.
Fair enough.
What say you?
Well, I say that this weight cut is not going to be a factor because he's known about this for a while. And I always felt like Maia was one of those guys that was kind of had room to cut if he wanted to, even though he looked bigger. I think, you know, he can drop some fat if he does it over the course of time. He probably looked a little drawn out, but I don't think
Keith Jardine drawn out. That was probably the worst.
But I mean, cutting weight not necessarily doesn't kill your cardio as long as you do it right. I don't think a guy like Maia, who seems a little more calculating, is going to come in and try to do 25 pounds the week of the fight.
The day before. Who was that? Who did that the day before?
The day before?
Jake Shields.
Oh, Jake Shields.
Remember? Yes.
Yeah.
185, 170.
So I think he's going to do it right, and he's probably doing lots of cardio, so I'm hoping he's got the gas tank. But I feel like Maia is the kind of guy who really needs to get back to what he used to do, which is get the fight to the ground at all costs, no matter what. Whether you shoot in or you come in, you pull guard, or you kind of get a clinch and then you just do like an anaconda thing and fucking throw some jiu-jitsu throw thing. He just needs to get it down to the ground so he can do what he does best. And, you know, Stun Gun, I think, is going to want to keep it standing. But I think Maia has kind of shown that he can strike a little bit better than he used to. He looked good against Munoz until he got clipped. And,
the first round he looked real good, and then it didn't work out so well.
The fight with Weidman was kind of like
a short notice fight, right? And
so it didn't. I think was he supposed to fight Bisping, right? No, forgot who he was supposed to fight.
That sounds correct to me, and I will say yes.
So. I mean, this guy is a consummate professional. I feel like Maia gets an early finish. I'm predicting a 3-minute stoppage. I have it be a triangle.
I would love to see
in jiu-jitsu fashion, and we see Damian get back to his roots.
I'd like to see a triangle in boxing fashion.
Boxing fashion.
I don't know what that is, but it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, I'd like to see him do it. I think he needs to get a submission back under his belt and get the wheels rolling at 170. See if he can contend for the title. Since obviously Silva was a big roadblock for him, maybe he'll do better at 170.
Maybe. Sometimes you got to go to a new weight class to redefine your career.
Yeah.
I always like to see guys go up, though. It's always tough going down.
Yeah.
Speed. Everything gets a little bit quicker.
Speed kills. Yep, that's true.
Sometimes. All right. I got
8-ball.
The Stun Gun. You got Maia, Magic 8-ball, Stun Gun, Stun Gun.
Stun the gun.
Fake notes. Perfect.
I don't remember.
All right, takes us right into we got Patrick,
the Predator.
Cote, he's 17-7 versus Kung,
the movie star.
Strikeforce Lee, he's 7-2.
That too.
40 years old. Cote, 47% of his wins by KO, 18% by submission. Lee, 100% by KO. What do you got going on here?
Well, I think the big thing is Cote, this is his return fight to the UFC.
Yeah, the Predator making his return in his iron/granite/cement chin felt.
Which, it seems like that plays right into his strength plays into Lee's weakness. And here's a guy who is hard to stop, who keeps coming forward, really strong power striker. Lee is more of a crazy tactician, like weird ass kicks from all angles.
Distance. He's good as if you stay in like kicking range, but once you close the distance on him, not so much.
Especially in rounds 2 and 3. I think we're going to see a very similar situation where Lee looks good in the first few minutes, and then he's going to run out of steam because Cote can, he can take a beating and keep coming forward. And I think Patrick Cote gets a knockout in the second round. I think he's got too much power. He's got a lot of experience. I'm surprised he got kicked out of the UFC the first time. I mean, he had that crazy fight against Anderson Silva.
Yeah, and then he had like a loss to Alan Belcher, and then he had one other loss. Head, right? Yeah, it was a debatable slam, but
what was that?
Kind of pile driver-ish.
Tom Lawler. Too.
Yeah, I think that was the third one. So he lost 3 in a row, but again, he at least lost in dramatic fashion. Granted, the loss to Anderson Silva was because his knee blew out, so you can't fault him for that. That was more Anderson's fault than anybody else. And I'll still argue that Cote probably would have won that fight.
Maybe.
You never know.
Danced so much he blew out his opponent's
it's like, what the fuck? Come on. He stood toe-to-toe with Anderson for 1.5 rounds at least. Not too many other people have done that, with the exception to maybe Chael Sonnen, who took it to him, and we'll talk about in a few fights.
Shortly.
Or one more. Whatever. So, I think the Predator is coming back. He's going to be hungrier than ever. Fuck yeah, he has to be.
Feeding you.
With his chin and Lee's style, like,
balls.
Yeah, goddamn right, his steel balls. He's not afraid. Fuck you. He's from Canada.
Is he left-handed?
He's tough as shit. I don't even know anymore. See, here's the problem. I'm in the heat for 3 days straight. Yeah. I've been delirious.
And I'm really hot down here. I'm actually really hot.
See, you're not acclimated yet? I've been acclimated. This is the first day I'm actually almost feeling all right. I felt air conditioning today. I don't want to digress too much, but it was so awesome. Just air conditioning. So the big thing is stay out of kick range. If you stay in kicking range at long distance, Lee can pick you apart. If you get in clinch range, like Silva did to him, he just destroyed him.
Yeah.
Like, I think he rearranged his nose for him, a la Rich Franklin style.
Second round, I believe.
Yeah.
Well.
So I'm going with the Cote. I'm going with the Predator. I'm going with the second round KO. I think this is... Lee is also, you know, he's 40, so he's pushing it.
Why is he still fighting? Does he really want to fight?
It's fun to watch. I'm not going to argue. I like to see all this... What are we throwing? Spinning shit now? You know?
No, I like it. I'm surprised because he has such a lucrative choreography career. Like, he does all these movies. And why does he want to get, you know, beat up in the cage?
Get his nose...
Yeah.
Maybe that's the new style. Like,
Busted
you have a nostril each way.
Nice.
These are... I don't know. Whatever it is. However that works. Anyway, so I'm going to go with Cote. Second round KO. Who'd you take? I don't even know.
I took the same thing.
Oh, we're double teaming Cote now. Great.
Not
Magic 8 Ball. Reply Hazy. Ask again. Patrick Cote.
I'm still schwitzing. It's getting worse.
Not to worry. You should try a Bard's beer. Look at how sweaty the beers are.
I know. I put my beer out. It's like we're in. I feel like I'm on the island.
It's all good. All right. We got next fight. We got Tito.
The Huntington Beach bad boy.
Or the People's Champion, but I still won't refer to him as that. I think he's the Huntington Beach bad boy. Versus Forrest. Well, wait. Tito is 16-10-1. Forrest Griffin, he's 18-7. Ortiz, 50% of his wins by KO, 19% by submission. Griffin, 17% by KO, 39% by submission. The odds from BetDSI, Ortiz plus 245, Griffin minus 305.
And this fight is the co-main event, which also happens to be brought to you by BetDSI.com, where you can bet on MMA and get a 20% discount. Visit betdsi.eu/MMA nuts and enter the code MMA nuts for your chance to save lots of money, make lots of bets.
You can get a 20% bonus.
And we have a contest still going on, which is soon to be over.
Yeah, get your picks in.
For UFC 148.
That's
for
right.
a chance to win big titties on your front porch.
And you can punch them all day long for at least an hour straight.
Nice. So back to the fights. What do you got going on for this shizzle, Mr. Matt? I have no notes for this fight.
Well, this is one of those fights where it's curious because why? That's the only question. Why? Is it going to be a good fight?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. But if you've had a split decision the first time they fought, a split decision in the second time they fought, what are the odds that there's going to be a split decision in this fight? I'm guessing pretty good.
Yep.
And I actually thought that Griffin won the first fight between them. I didn't think Tito did. And this fight, it's a retirement match for Ortiz and possibly a retirement match for Griffin. He's still on the fence. And looking at Griffin, I question where is his head, because that Shogun fight, it didn't look like he was actually there, but he had a lot of shit going on.
His wife was having a baby.
Right, and it was in Brazil, and he couldn't eat properly and whatever. So he had to get back. I think he just wanted out. Like, I'll show up, I'll fight, I'm done. I'm on a plane, I'm flying home.
Yes. I believe he took off, like, immediately.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
He had to run.
He was like, I gotta go.
And then Ortiz, you know, he's won, what, one of his last 8 fights.
12. 1 in 12.
One of his last 8 fights. So,
against Bader.
Yeah, he dropped him.
Craziness.
And then guillotine him.
Yeah.
Smart. That was smart. Drop him and choke him. Like it. Not a lot of people do that. Some people just try to pound away and pound away. Doesn't work. So, this fight, I think it just comes down to the takedown. That's all it is. Can Tito take Forrest down? If Tito takes Forrest down, he wins the fight. If he doesn't, Forrest wins the fight. So, I think he doesn't. I got to look at history and say 1 out of his last 8. Granted, this is a champion, and he could pull it together for one fight, but I think Griffin has his number, and I'm going to take Griffin with the split decision win. What say you?
I don't know. It's hard to argue anything you said, actually. I don't know. I mean, I've reserved my judgment on who's going to win this fight for right now, and I honestly don't see any way that Tito can win this. I really don't. It just seems like you know, he's going to be inducted, or was he already, into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think he was.
So, which is great for him. He's done a lot for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think at this point in his career, I mean, these two, there just is no reason for this fight, in my opinion. It's not exciting, in my opinion. We've seen it a few times already. I mean, these guys have to work hard and get up for this thing. So how crazy is it really going to get? I mean, here's two guys who are very well matched together. They have each other's number in some way, shape, or form as they split 6 rounds between each other. So they're going to split 3 more, and I'm going to go ahead and say that Griffin is going to be able to come out on top for the simple fact that I don't think, like you said, Tito is going to be able to take him down. And that's his game. I mean, striking-wise, I don't think
he can't stand with Forrest.
So that's going to be the game. And I don't want to say this, but I think it might be kind of boring. I think this fight
blasphemy! It's a UFC fight being boring?
They're going to be
blasphemy.
They're too evenly matched, and I think both guys, you know, are going to get tired in later rounds. And if they both retire, that'd be awesome. I think a guy like Forrest Griffin or even Tito both deserve spots in the UFC, some way, shape, or form, doing something. But you know, everybody gets old. Fight, you know.
Yeah, getting old is a motherfucker. Especially when I go to the pool and I look at the people getting old.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, that's going to happen someday.
Oh, yeah.
Like, someday you're going to get old and wrinkly and look like shit. So you better enjoy that shit while you can. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. So we're doubling up on Griffin.
And Cote. And Cote McKenzie.
And the Magic 8 Ball's taking Tito.
Oh, nice.
Are we going right into the... I'm going to need to pour a beer. I'll drink a beer. Hang on.
Are you enjoying a Bard's at the moment? A nice, refreshing Bard's?
So delicious.
And tasty?
It's almost like a craft beer that happens to be gluten-free.
Nice.
Might even be the best gluten-free beer in the world.
Ever?
Ever. And it's no bullshit. It's so delicious. It's sweating hard. It's almost warm.
I know,
We've only been filming for a half hour.
They're looking a little bit like they might not be cold anymore.
Yeah, we're at that yucky part.
It's all good.
This is getting warm. All right. Main event time.
The main event brought to you by DefenseSoap.com, where you can go and enter the code below and save yourself some ducats on Defense Soap products.
At least 10%.
Yes. I use this shit. I think, Matt, have you been using this shit?
I've loofed it in.
I like the bars. He likes the loofah.
You like the bars?
The bars.
I understand
the
that.
bar of soap. I
good. Like
it very much. I use it. I also use their wipes after grappling, especially jiu-jitsu.
I thought you were going to say after you take a dump. I get the wipe.
Boy, that's not cool.
Reverse
grip. Not gonna like that. No, after jiu-jitsu, like a lot of times with the gi, like you have the collar chokes and stuff all the time, ripping up your neck. So you put it.
Keep going. I'm not saying anything there.
When guys are rubbing their sweaty balls on your head, you want to get that off as quick as possible. I use their wipes. Those are nice. Around the neck and around on the hands, you know, on the ass. It's all good. Not on the ass because it's probably burned. It's eucalyptus oil. It probably stings.
Oh yeah, it burns.
Yeah, but the soap is the shit. It helps me. You know, actually, this summer, every year I usually get like dry, cracking skin after I get a tan. This year, not at all. Just kind of, it's good.
It's defense soap. Defense keeps you on the mat. What's the other line?
No, offense wins matches and defense keeps you on the mat.
Oh, take that.
Yes, sir.
Let that be a lesson to all you whippersnappers.
That being said, shall we get into the meat of this situation?
All right, we got Chael.
All-American
the
boy,
people's champion.
Testosterone replacement.
The real champion, Sonnen.
Yes, the real.
That's right. The real fake champion. He's 27-11-1 versus Anderson.
The Spider.
Silva, he's 31-4. Sonnen, 26% of his wins by KO, 15% by submission. Anderson, 58% by KO, 19% by submission. The odds from BetDSI on this fight, Sonnen at plus 210 and Silva at minus 260. Woo! Wow. So how long has this fucking fight been in the making?
2 years? 2 years? When they fight? 0-10?
Something like that.
0-10? Is that even a year?
Yeah. I don't fucking know. And the Silva camp is already preemptive struck with injury. Silva's got a knee injury or something.
Supposedly.
And I think I read an article where Sonnen said something that's Ed Torres marketing 101, where he always likes to come out and say his fighter's injured before the fight, and then when he wins, he's like a superstar and blah, blah, blah.
Everybody. Dos Santos, Silva.
Yeah, right.
Jose Aldo.
Yeah, they're always injured.
They're always injured coming into fights.
Well, and that was something else. This is kind of a little bit off topic, but Sonnen was saying, like, with all these people pulling out of fights, that you should have to forfeit if you pull out a fight and take a loss on your professional record. Because he is claiming that he has never pulled out of a fight. And so many of these fighters fight injured and don't make a big deal out of it. But it seems like some people, like the preemptive strike, a lot of these fights, and say they're injured or not. But an interesting side topic. Go ahead, discuss.
You want me to retort?
Yeah, you can.
I think that's crazy. The fuck? I like the guy and all, but that's madness. Okay, I think he's just saying, come on,
fucking show up and fight.
Contact sport. Okay?
I don't give a shit if your leg's broken. Injured. Get out there with some fucking crutches.
You want guys to get in there when they can't even defend themselves and go fight against somebody that's trying to.
If you weren't such a sissy, maybe you'd make it happen.
Oh my god.
Sonnen shows up for every fight.
Oh, supposedly. He does have that needle help, you know. Whatever.
Hey, some people, their balls don't produce enough testosterone.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
But it's a lifetime. That's the other thing.
Some people only have one ball.
We're going on tangent now. But here's the thing. Like, how do these guys who said they were on TRT get off it? You can't. Once you start, you cannot stop.
According to the underground, there is a way. There are some serious experts about testosterone on the underground. There's a whole drug regimen for 3 months you need to follow, like Clomid and HCG and HGH and all this ridiculousness to restart your natural production of juice.
But from what I've understood, that's after doing a cycle of steroids. But now this is like some just straight up testosterone. Yeah. Granted, it's the same shit, but
I don't know. What do I know?
I don't know. I've never been on the TRT. Not saying I wouldn't want to.
I'm getting my shit checked again in the fall to make sure, but levels were a little low last time.
Mine were once too. You got to watch what you're taking. And I was taking like an asthma thing that had some steroids in there, dropping everything, and then I went off it. Whoa!
Smash!
I'm back. Okay. You don't need that shit. But I'm get right back in the game. So let's get back into this fight.
I'm fucking hot as hell.
I'm fucking getting delirious.
I'm dying.
It's all good. But it was funny because Silva finally snapped the other day at one of the conferences. He's cursing Sonnen out.
He's probably drunk.
He might have been. And I think he cursed about saying he wanted to like rape him with a Whopper or something.
I'm not sure. I didn't
Some
hear
Burger
that.
King.
I heard him knocking out his teeth and breaking all his limbs and fucking him in the ass.
Yeah, but then Sonnen called him out. And he's like, yeah, he said he was going to do all this shit, but he didn't say he was going to win the fight. Like, interesting observation.
Yeah. Oh, always
that guy is smart. He's what you call a scholar. You gotta watch out for him.
Yeah, you too. Fuck you. You talk about me like that.
Yeah.
No, Sonnen says it's the right thing.
Yeah.
At the right time.
Sonnen, he's a real estater. You better watch out. And then you have Silva dressing up like Michael Jackson for a photo shoot.
Yes.
Doing some stuff. I don't know where this guy's at. You got to think too. He's what, 36, 37, somewhere in there. Is this a retirement fight for him?
Yeah, we were talking about it before. I think you brought it up first, but I think he's going to retire win or lose. And he's going to be one of those Fedor retirements where I'm retired, but, you know, if the right opportunity, like John Jones and like $10 million presents itself, I may fight again.
That is an awesome way. So this fight, win or lose, he retires, and then Jones smashes Henderson, and then they do this. Let's bring the guy, kind of like Randy Couture when Randy came back to fight Tim Sylvia for the title after he retired. They do that with Silva, and then a 205 title match. That's what's in the works. See, Ingo's fucking smart. He gets it. Why don't you guys get it?
It's all money, marketing.
It is.
Bullshit. There are those online who think Anderson Silva's little tirade is all calculated way to sell the fight.
He's a little late to the game. He waited until a week before the fight to do it.
Now's the time. If you're going to sell hard, now's the time.
True, but Sonnen has been selling this shit since the day he lost that last fight.
That's what got him in the title fight in the first place, and I think that's what keeps him coming back is because there's a guy who can market better than anybody.
Anybody in the UFC and the WWE or
wrestling
whatever.
can take a lesson from this. I mean, these guys, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nobody does it as good as he does.
No, and I don't think anybody will, and even better than Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Very entertaining, smart, witty, ridiculous at times, but you just kind of, either you love him and you want to see him win, or you hate him and you want to see him get his ass kicked. Either way, you're going to buy the pay-per-view just when he's on it.
Exactly.
You got to know what's going to happen. So what do you think?
Well, I'm going to ask you, like, with Anderson, if this is fake or real rage towards him, when Anderson shows up, I know we've asked this before, is it the dancing fool Anderson, or is it the Anderson that's the killer that comes out and fucking smashes you?
I haven't seen Anderson the Killer in quite a long time.
Maybe since Forrest Griffin?
That was the last time I remember where he took a guy who was aggressive and made him look like a fool. And maybe, what was the fucking guy he fought at 205 the first time? Where he caught the leg kick and then...
James Irvin.
That's it, thank you. Those two fights, I thought maybe he came up to that weight division wanting to prove something. So... But I think this is the first time that anybody has ever probably got into his head the ways. I mean, Chael has said shit about, what, fucking his wife? I mean, you name it, this guy has said all kinds of shit about this guy. About his country, about his family, about his... Does he have kids? I think he talked about his kids.
Maybe. Sure.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I think the Anderson that comes in is the Anderson that's not calculating and is not... necessarily trying to find his range in the beginning. Maybe he tries to push it, and we're going to see a clash of, like Chael said in the primetime, I think it's going to be a battle of wills. Who wants it more from the ringing of the bell? And when I see that happening, I feel like that plays into Chael Sonnen's wheelhouse, because there's a guy who just goes and goes and goes. He's like an Energizer Bunny, nonstop. Keeps that motor running, and I don't think Anderson can deal with that. So as long as Chael keeps his cool and doesn't do something stupid, like leaving his arm in there in the 5th round for like
he was
for the
tired.
team, like, oh.
You gotta at least give the man credit for
I do.
trying to finish. I just wish you would not stay in someone's guard. He always seems to flirt with disaster. Just I'll just sit here and guard. Just fucking try to pass and get side control,
Maybe
and then
he doesn't know how. Maybe he just likes to chill. He likes to be on
he just made that one mistake, and you know, you can beat the shit out of a guy for 4 minutes and whatever, or 4 rounds and 4 minutes of the 5th round, and you get fucking triangled, and you clearly won every round. It's just one mistake cost you the entire fight. But again, that fight would have been thrown out since he tested positive for steroids.
Yeah.
But now he's approved for steroids.
He is now approved, and I think he's got to be within the range. But I mean, on paper, if you look at this, you give Chael Sonnen no chance to win. I think if you're an analytical person and you look at the martial arts IQ versus of the two guys, obviously Silva has way more IQ. But there's always that factor of when I looked at the primetime and I saw this guy talking and Chael Sonnen about the fight, I just feel like there's something in there in this. I mean, he really wants this.
Well, there's a desire. It's like, so I think it's harder for Silva to defend than for Sonnen to get it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because one guy is hungrier, and then one guy has been on top. Like, how many fights has he won in a row? It's like a 15 fight win streak.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch.
Like, fuck. So how do you keep that top tempo, defending, and then as your body's also aging to be able to train, and plus, he hasn't fought in 11 months, Anderson.
Yeah, he's been out.
So, with all that said and done, it's either going to be a violent one round knockout for fucking Anderson, or it's going to be a 5-round grind where Sonnen imposes his will again. And I think it's a 5-round grind. I'm going with Sonnen. I'm going with the underdog, grinding it out. I think it's heart. I think it comes down to the heart. Who wants it more? And I think, like you said, I think Chael wants it more right now. Anderson's done a fucking shitload in his career. And I think it's time to pass the belt, if you will. So, decision win for Sonnen.
I think Sonnen will win as well.
Oh, Jesus. Are we jinxing everybody?
No, I'm sorry. I really... I'm so torn. I don't even. I want to pick Silva because my brain is telling me, this guy's way better than Sonnen on paper. He should win hands down. 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10. But for some reason, I see something in this guy in Sonnen's eyes. I just feel like he has a chance here, and I'm gonna say that he wins by submission. I feel like it's gonna be a 3rd round victory, and as wrestlers go, they don't have a ton of submissions in their arsenal, but they do have
triangle.
Yeah, I think they have arm triangles, and I think a guy who plays on top a lot has an opportunity. If he learns his lesson, passes guard, gets that arm triangle, he can finish Anderson Silva in probably one of the craziest finishes ever in MMA history. I think he finally in the 8th round. He wins. He finally wins in the 8th round. Yeah, and he will be champion. And it's gonna be nuts. And I'm so happy it's in Las Vegas and not Brazil because
Chael would get murdered out there. Fucking hell.
Assassinate his ass. I don't know, but I think it's gonna be crazy, and I hope it's a good fight. I hope they both show up.
And then Sonnen will test positive for marijuana. And they will strip him of no.
Sonnen looks jacked in the prime time that I watched this week. He looks huge. He looks really, really huge. So I don't know if that's a cardio issue or what, but I mean, he's working out. He's looking good. Anderson's kind of chilling. He's got the cover of like Rolling Stone.
It's getting soft, man. He's doing too much of this shit where it doesn't look like so much training. It looks more like other endorsements and stuff that he shouldn't be doing and focusing on a fight.
Did you see the Dana White Dominic Cruz fucking edge?
I thought it was a joke.
It's serious.
I saw him on an edge gel.
I saw
like
it today
the head.
in the store.
Like,
I went into the aisle just when I bought this beer just to check. They're fucking in there. They got. I don't understand what kind of marketing this is.
How is the Kingpin, the president of a fucking sport league, on the goddamn shaving gel?
Because the brand is bigger than the individuals in this.
But now the individual is bigger than the brand.
But Dana is the brand.
He's both.
Why Dominic Cruz?
Blow your mind.
I don't understand.
What is he clean shaving for?
It's like it's a little guy.
He should have he should be sponsored by like New Balance or something.
Like Uriah Faber was for K-Swiss.
K-motherfucking Swiss!
Yeah. I tried to watch the 3rd episode of...
Don't watch the 3rd season at all.
It's horrible.
The 3rd season is terrible. 1st season was the best. 2nd season was okay. The 3rd season was terrible.
Yeah.
What a fucking letdown.
It's horrible. I have a whole bunch of stuff to
close
discuss.
this thing up.
I got more stuff. I was going to tell you some cool shit.
All right, man. Come on, motherfucker. Anderson Silva.
Anderson.
The spider. Be different, you crazy bitch. All right, go.
No, speaking of like cool shows, I just started watching some shit on HBO. It's called The Newsroom.
No, I haven't seen that. What's
check that out. It's really good. It's it has Jeff Daniels as this main star, and he's like the main guy, and he's a newscaster.
Mm-hmm.
It's really wordy and dialogue driven, but it's really fun. It's like an hour-long show. They've had 2 episodes. The season premiere, the first 10 minutes, probably the best 10 minutes in TV I've seen in maybe 15 years.
Wow, that's a fucking big endorsement.
His tirade of about our country and about how he feels and how you just have to go, wow, that's really on point. Like, okay, I know it's a TV show, but wow, okay. You should check it out. It's on HBO, or you can just Google it on YouTube.
What is it again? Fake Notes?
The Newsroom.
Actually am typing it.
So check that out.
I never save it.
I know you're into the more action genre type stuff, more like slapstick comedy kind of thing, but this is a little bit more like thinking kind of a show, but the dialogue is really good. So if you like dialogue-y type shows, it's good stuff.
I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah.
You ever watch True Blood?
Nah, never got into it.
Did you try it?
Did you try it? Did you start watching it?
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah. I liked the last season. A little vampire, a little werewolf, and all these other weird shit going on.
Yeah.
It's a lot of storylines, a lot to follow.
They're in there, what, 4th season, 5th season?
Yeah, I think 4th. But I only watched like the last one and this one. But
okay. I know a lot of people like that show. I just never really... I think what happened was Twilight came around, and then I was
that
ruined the vampire side. I'm like, this is not a fucking vampire. This is not Dracula like Francis Ford Coppola or whatever. I remember, The Lost Boys. Like, speaking of which, that was a good fucking movie. I didn't watch it.
Right.
Hell yeah, that's Dracula vampire shit, not fucking sparkly weird. I love you.
Yeah.
Let me
Speaking of vampires, I just saw. I liked Fright Night, the original version, that movie.
Okay.
That was old school. And the other night I watched. I didn't know they redid the movie, but they actually. This is one of the times where they redid the movie, and the redo was better than the original.
Fright Night.
Yes, and that's a vampire movie.
Starring.
No names.
Random.
It was a bunch of no names.
No
It didn't
namers.
matter. It was actually pretty cool.
Okay.
And that's the exception to, like, look at Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The original destroys the remake.
Not
You
even
can't hold
close.
a match to that or anything.
When my son gets of age, which I'm thinking is around 6, 7, 8, maybe in that ball. Is that right for Willy Wonka?
Yeah, probably 6, solid 6. I think
I'm
that's
not
why
showing
I took
him the
mine.
fucking Johnny Depp version, which I like Johnny Depp, but that doesn't even hold water to the original. Not even come on. The original, still the way to go.
That's right.
Fucking best.
Got
ever.
a knife sharpener, scaring kids. The crazy thing was I turned that movie on the other day. It was right at that point, and I fucking like recorded it so I could show you just that scary part. So yeah. Like,
What a great movie. They don't make, dude. It has been a long time since I've seen a movie where I was like, wow, this is a good. I did watch.
What's the last one that just like blew you away?
I
Where
can't
you're like,
remember.
"Fuck,
I
man."
watched The Gray recently because finally I was telling you I've been finally at like Friday night. No, it was Thursday. It was the brownie night. Dude, I watched The Gray, and it was quite like the experience on human like suffering, and it's worth watching. But I can't remember a movie where I was like, wow, this is amazing. I mean, do you have anything in the last 3 or 4 years?
No.
Dark Knight, maybe?
I mean, that was pretty good.
Pretty
I
awesome.
want to say, like, probably The Matrix was probably the one where I saw
The
it.
first one?
But that was, like, the first time, like, you get a DVD. I think I just had gotten a DVD player at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, fuck, and you bring a movie home, and you've got the theater surround. You got the fucking well, it's not HD TV at that time, but you got the fucking projection TV. Actually, it's the same projection TV that I have. That's HD TV ready, but at the time it was fucking top of the line. You got the surround sound, you're watching it, you're like, oh my god, what the fuck? So I think it's the double experience of seeing DVD quality and the movie at the same time.
Nice.
But as far as that, like, what else? There hasn't been any other like solid movies.
I saw The Matrix in theaters in a slightly altered, severely altered state, and it was quite the experience.
Oh yeah.
I remember going, what the fuck? And I saw Star Wars Phantom Menace that way too. So, Dad, if you're watching, turn off.
Yeah. Don't watch now. The beers are sweaty.
Yeah, what's a good? I mean, shit. I'm looking forward to Dark Knight Rises. I think that's the one coming out in a couple weeks.
Is Batgirl in this?
I don't know. Is she? Is there a Batgirl?
I thought there was. I saw a trailer that looked like a Batgirl.
I didn't watch a trailer. I just assume it's going to be.
It'll ruin the movie for you. That's what they do, I think. They show you the trailer, but they show you so much of the movie that's ruined.
Well, it's like The Gray. I watched the trailer. The fucking trailer shows you the absolute last scene in the movie they show you in the trailer. And you wouldn't have guessed that from the trailer, but I was like, this is gay. Like, why would they show me that? That's so stupid. I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes the trailers are better than the movies. Is that possible?
Yeah, well, they have to try to jam as much fucking action in that, whatever, 30-second, minute 30, to get you to come spend your 14 ducats or whatever it costs to see a fucking flick these days.
$12, $13, depending on where you go.
Plus, if you're going to not smuggle food in or...
You gotta get popcorn,
liquor,
$8,
alcohols,
and you gotta get one of those slushies. That's my thing: salty popcorn with butter and the slushie.
And then he cuts out a hole in the bottom of the thing and puts his crank in there. Some unsuspecting woman
you like some popcorn?
Grab it. He prefers the 82-year-olds, so watch out, old ladies.
Yes. Oh, they have the soft fingers.
And no teeth.
That's right, no teeth.
They like the bob for apples. Sometimes the gum is better. A little num-num. That's all I'm saying.
I'm trying to picture this. I threw up a little in my mouth.
You're not a fan of 82-year-olds?
No. We don't have any viewer mail because we have no internets or anything.
Or even, we'll see how this works for next week. Because said computer took a shit. It's not a fan of these surges, even though it's not a surge protector.
I might have to build you a set computer then.
I think we may have to.
I have a large case that you could use.
I've got a ton of spares if we haven't destroyed them.
Parts, cases? I have a nice case. I can get you some parts.
It's just unfortunate. That thing has lasted. Shit, what year was that I got that? That thing's got to be as good. Was a Pentium M 1.8?
Wow, the original. Like when Intel. Here, I'm gonna show my nerdies.
Go ahead.
When Intel like first came out with the like real mobile processor.
It was.
Yeah, it was like, whoa, this thing's badass. When they used to just shove desktop chips in
that was so ridiculous. Because I'm like, you're fucking, one, the heat is out of control. 2, the power consumption on your battery is retarded. 3, the thickness on your notebook is retarded. Like, what are you doing?
A box. I remember when I was in college, I was selling computer stuff, and they had these notebooks where you would just plug and play shit. Did you ever sell those? No.
I always stuck with brand. All these like third party. What do they call those? White box vendors were always. We're always trying to like sell me shit, and I'm like, dude, no offense, but if you're not a name brand, I'm not buying your shit.
Probably a good practice, because we used to get these fucked up ones where literally it comes as like this freaky ass box, and there's nothing in there. You got to put the hard drive, you got to put the processor, the RAM, everything. It's all like plug and play. It was all desktop shit. The power plug for the fucking thing was like this big. You would touch it and you cook an egg.
You melt your hand.
Yeah. This is like the
laptop. That's why it was always the debate. Like, we don't want to call this a laptop because people are gonna sue us because they want to put it on their lap and it might melt your balls and give you ball cancer.
You got the netbook.
Yeah,
which is
still not that
come and gone now. The netbook has a short life.
Yeah, now, the tablet fucking killed it. Tablet is killing everything.
Google has their own tablet now, the little one they just released this week. You know, all these competing. I'm a big Apple fan. I like this the best. I don't care, whatever.
Yeah, anything else is just, it's not as good.
I know there's Android folks out there, whatever.
But who cares? You Android this, Android that. The apps aren't anywhere near what Apple has on their network.
Has all the apps.
Plus, they own it all, so.
They do. They do.
Smart motherfuckers.
And it's not the first time we've seen tablets. Don't you remember the notebooks that they had where the screen flipped?
Well, ViewSonic, I remember ViewSonic always had them, and I remember back in the day I would never, because I used to be a laptop buyer for many years, and I would always say, I'm not buying those because there's no fucking keyboard. Nobody wants a tablet computer unless you have a keyboard, and then Apple was the first person to say, oh, wow, we recognize you need to be able to type because otherwise this is a fucking useless piece of shit, and they put the touchscreen, and then you have the keyboard. Now everything makes sense.
Stylus. Fuck the stylus.
Right, that was so stupid.
I remember like I had a little PDA or whatever, and with the stupid stylus.
Oh yeah.
It's like you always lose that fucking thing.
I have one sitting on my desk just waiting to get smashed. It's a BlackBerry.
Oh, BlackBerry.
With the stylus.
Yeah. Fuck that.
And the keyboard.
Yeah. So.
You don't need any of that shit.
No. Well, should we close this out? I think we're good.
What's the knowledge segment? You got any knowledge? Or?
Knowledge. Knowledge.
I could share a library story from today. So since hence I have no power and no internet, I have faux power, I guess.
I'm waiting for this shit to die any second.
I've got 15 hours of generator fuel.
Everything's running off generator power. Just
so awesome, by the way. Who thought? I never knew this was possible. Even the 82 degrees of awesomeness.
Hot in here.
So I go to the library and it's fully air conditioned. I'm in this. You take an elevator up to the secret adult room.
They got porn in there?
Kind of, which is kind of funny because I noticed every time I'm on a website, they're trying to serve me porn, like the ad put. And this computer does not see any porn, so it's curious. I think it's just the library IP.
You got child control on it?
No, I've never looked for porn on this computer. This is just a straight-up work computer.
So you're saying you do look for porn?
Fuck yeah, I'm a man, right?
Porn browsing.
Men look for porn. It is what it is. But anyway, that was...
School chicks on taking big black dicks.
I don't know anything about that. Finally, a big black cock reference. A British Broadcasting Corporation. Did I get it this time?
We know what the BBC is.
I don't. No, I don't. I literally don't. I know it was British Broadcasting, and I'm like, what the C? Is it corporation or channel?
I think it's channel. BBC.
He said corporation.
Whatever.
Channel. See, I still don't know. Now you confused me. I just
There's crazy Brits in there, beer and fucking potatoes and meat. And crazy women.
What is Irish? Isn't it the Irish?
What?
Potatoes and meat.
I don't know.
I'm Irish.
British food is fucked up. You ever go to a British food place?
There's an Ingo food reference. Drink.
Drink. It's fucking nasty.
No, I never did. Oh, should I finish my story?
Sorry.
Okay, so.
Go ahead.
So I finally get dialed in, and I'm sitting in not quite a lazy boy, but a leather chair, and they're in 4. So there's one here, one to my left, one across from me, and one to my right. So as I sit there, people start to sit in the other chair. So I get smelly BO old man sit next to me who can't hear for a damn, and he's with this old lady with these 2 like yarning needles, and she's hand stitching a fucking scarf in the 100-degree weather because that's what she need. And she's talking to him and trying to, did you Google ComEd? He can't hear for a damn. I'm like, motherfucker.
Are they related?
Yeah, I think they were husband and wife.
Oh, I thought they were like flirting.
They came together. That would have been hot. I would have started beating off. Maybe that's why I was getting all the porn, trying to get me in the mood for this live action.
Nice. And
then this other lady comes up, a little bit overweight. She sits on the right-hand side, asthmatic. She's coughing up lung.
Why do all old ladies smell the same?
I don't know.
Do they shop at the same cologne store?
It's old lady stink. So she's taking hits off her inhaler, and then every like 20 seconds she keeps hitting like a fucking video, and it's yelling out at her. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I've got a show to work on, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm trying to work here.
This is the adult section, not the child section. What the fuck? But I tell you what, that's some entertaining shit. I was quite amused. I'm like, wow, this is pretty. I gotta write down everything I'm seeing right here. Like, I'm getting served porn ads. I got all these.
Cock and start getting blowjobs.
They should have. I mean, the whole fuck fest could just went down.
I heard that's prevalent in like old folk homes.
Didn't you tell me gonorrhea was prevalent?
Yeah. Did I say that before?
I don't know. Some STD is prevalent.
If I'm going to go, I'm going to be in an old folks home where everybody's fucking. That sounds like fun. Might as well.
Hey, you know? I'm down with the clown.
Hey, you never know.
Or something.
I don't know. So your story, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
No, that was it. I was just saying,
okay.
Maybe you should check out your local public library because...
Or old folks home.
There's some fucking interesting people there. That's all. That's all I got.
It's exhausting. We better shut this down before... Is your clock still right?
My clock still runs.
Because it doesn't run off power.
It doesn't give a shit. It just says, fuck you, and your power, and your internet, and your heat. I don't give a shit. I have 6 seconds between each increment. Nice. Between 12 and 1. I go 1 more, because I'm harder than the rest.
You know the atomic clock gave us 1 extra second
That's what I heard.
Did you feel it?
I did.
What did you do with your extra second?
I almost beat off.
Nice.
But it was too hot. I conserved energy.
Yeah. It is really fucking hot. We're not joking. I'm sweating.
Just wait till you go upstairs. You get the weirdest buzz because you've been down here and it's about 81. Then you'll go upstairs and it'll be 91. And as you're going up the steps, you'll get this head rush and you'll almost pass out.
I'm going to get
every time
my car and fucking turn the AC on like full blast.
And I'm just going to stew in my heat or go to the local public library.
Pick up some old ladies?
Fuck yeah. I hear they can knit like a son of a bitch. Knit you a little sweater for your cock. Keep it warm.
Cock sweater. That could be a new thing. Why would you need a sweater for your cock?
I want it to look like Freddy Krueger. Or Fedor Emelianenko. He's a big fan of the cock sweater.
Nice. He gets cold where he lives. You gotta cover yourself.
If he wasn't such a pussy, maybe it wouldn't be a problem.
Oh.
Whoa!
Terrible!
Oh, just joking.
On that note, that has been this week's edition of MMA Nuts. My name's Ingo Weigold.
I'm Griffin.
If you'd like a cock sweater, visit your local library where Matt may be hanging out.
Yeah, trying to pick up the 82-year-old women. I hear they're not so moist like a cupcake.
They put out.
They do.
They make lube for that.
What?
For the not so moist.
I bet their asses are loose as fuck. You don't even need any lube. That shit just falls right out.
Pull right in there and you fall right in. You're like, hello in there. I need to come out of this thing.
No, just stay on in.
Someone call the ambulance. I think I broke an ankle.
Hey, while you're in there, can you find my wedding ring? It's been 52 years since I've lost it.
It's gone off the rope.
Did we close that? Is it done?
Yes.
All
See
right.
you later, fuckers.
Thanks for playing.
Stay cool.
Yep.